Angle in the first. Watch out.
Look at this. Upton pops it up. Left side, Elvis Andrus is backpedaling. He is under it. He puts it away. The Texas Rangers have won a postseason series.
The Texas Rangers are American League champions.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of Right on Rangers Live, coming at you bottom of the 8th inning. Kumar Rocker dealing after Skip's opener plan has panned out in a glorious way here. Rocky sitting at zero runs, no earned runs for Kumar. Tyler Alexander, 10 runs on the board for Texas. It's a good night to be a Rangers fan. Nice to have one of these evenings. Let's not worry too much about tomorrow yet. It's a nice night to be a Rangers fan. I love what I'm seeing tonight from the offense. This is obviously a nice ballpark to hit in, and there's a couple of Rangers that appear to love hitting here at Coors Field. Brandon Nimmo, obviously, you probably heard the story at this point. Nimmo grew up a Rockies fan. I think he's got a 950 career OPS here at Coors. Justin Foscue, man, that guy is going to be depressed to get on the plane tomorrow. Foscue is going to be absolutely down and out, man. This dude has been raking in Denver. Raking. Oh, it's a good night to watch a baseball game. Rangers needed this one badly after last night. 7-6 loss, but I said it today in my video. You know, it didn't feel that way, right? It felt like a game that was much more out of reach. It got interesting late. It was close late. I don't know. It doesn't feel like, oh man, we were right there the whole time. It was a deflating loss with the errors and late not coming through, not clutching up in the opportunities that Colorado was giving Texas to win the game in the 8th inning especially. It's just nice to have a game like this. Before we get too deep into it, appreciate everybody hanging out here at Right on Rangers. We cover everything Texas sports, but we put a big emphasis on the Rangers during the MLB season, and we thank you for choosing Right on Rangers for all of your Texas Rangers content. Out number 3 here is Osuna in right field, camps under it. He's one of the few Rangers that doesn't have a hit today, although I know he just got on base via the walk in the top half of the 8th, but I think he's one of the only Rangers that doesn't have a hit today. I think it's Haggerty, McCutchen, technically, who was pulled for Jock Peterson. Jock, by the way, trying to make up for a year and a half in one night. Am I right? Jock Peterson, 4 hits, a Rangers record, 4 hits off the bench. Good stuff from him today. Look, obviously, guys, I say this every night. We're critical of players when they're not doing well, when they're not living up to the expectations, to the standards, to the contract. Jock's having a great night tonight. No way around it. You just wish you could be getting this out of him a little bit more consistently. You really do. And you hope that this is the start of something good for Jock Peterson. Jock, 716 OPS. I believe that's probably one of, if not the highest number he's had as a Ranger. I mean, I wish I was kidding. It's kind of sad to say it out loud that way, but let's go glass half full. Good for him. Highest OPS as a Ranger. Let's go. So B Daddy, a few of you guys are asking, Natalie, I know you were asking about the opener. I know we got a couple other comments. Why the opener? Why the opener? The first inning has been a big issue for Kumar Rocker. The ERA in the first inning is ridiculous. Like, I can go to it on Baseball Ref right now. I think it was like over 9. Somebody can check me on that who was listening to the broadcast the whole game because I know that they talked about it. I want to say the ERA was like over 9 in the first inning for Kumar Rocker. Look, I tweeted about it live, and I know that some people are just automatically going to write it off as me being negative, but I always try and relate to these guys, not as a guy that's not as a former player that's played at the highest level. Obviously, I didn't make it anywhere close to the major leagues, but as a former ball player and competitor, my comment on the whole opener thing is I hope Kumar's pissed off about it. I really do. I hope he's not sitting there right now thinking to himself like, "Man, I hope I get this opener every single time." Like, what starting pitcher wants a babysitter in the first inning? Like, what starting pitcher needs the first 2 innings babysat for him before they can come in? So for me, I'm glad it worked out. Like, all credit to Skip for actually going with the strategy and maybe throw Teagues in there as well. I'm sure Jordan Teagues had a little bit of a say in that. But I hope Kumar's pissed off about it. I hope he takes it personal and uses it as motivation. Like for me, I just can't imagine he's sitting there like feeling awesome about the fact that the team doesn't trust him in the first inning. Because that's basically what it is, right? And I know this is maybe the negative view or the negative perspective on this, but I'm not seeing it that way. I'm happy the Rangers got a win. I'm happy for Kumar throwing a great game today. I just hope for me it translates into him continuing to work harder, sharpening his game, refining his pitch repertoire. Obviously, the mental side of it as well. We all know Kumar has had some lapses in that regard. You just love to see him take this and use it as motivation, man. I mean, look, I pitched a little bit throughout my playing time. I would have loved to be in a position where you're getting to take the ball right out the gate. I don't know that as a starting pitcher, you're loving the idea of an opener, but you know what? As long as you're getting a win, it's hard to complain too much. I just hope Kumar uses it as a motivating factor for him the rest of the way. Yes, we got a position player pitching right now. It's gotten to that point. I mean, look, there's a game tomorrow. Pretty quick turnaround. Haggerty's going to ground into a double play. Jeez, that's how it's going for Sam Haggerty right now. Sam Haggerty can't buy a base knock. And Rocker's going back out for the 9th inning. He's going back out for the 9th inning. Look, for me, I just am happy that Rocker is having success tonight, and you hope he builds off of it. However, yeah, in the back of his mind, I surely hope he's taking this a little personal. I don't think there's any pitcher that is a first round starting pitcher that feels good about having an opener start games for you. For me, that is 100% the first thing I thought of. But look, Kumar's night tonight, impressive. Maybe going to go 7 scoreless. We'll knock on wood for him. Good stuff from Kumar Rocker. Hey, look, let me get back to what I was telling you guys about the first inning stats here. Going on Baseball Ref right now. Going to check it out. First inning for him this year. Come on now. Cooperate. An 11.25 ERA in the first inning. Like, that to me is exactly what we're talking about with first inning struggles. Like, yeah, that is the reason. 11.25 ERA in the first inning. Now, some people did make some good counterpoints online. Isn't the third inning still like his first inning? Like, isn't that the issue? Is it really as simple as just don't start the first inning? I kind of agree with that crowd, by the way. Dude, is it really as simple as he just can't start literally the first inning? Or is it, hey, just coming out the gate, he doesn't quite have it all dialed in? Whatever the excuse is, I do kind of tend to agree. I find it weird that it's really literally just the first inning that's the problem. It feels a little bit like maybe it's just an approach thing. maybe they figured out something today. Like maybe they unlocked something today, the way he warmed up, the way he went about it. That I think is the positive angle here, is maybe by doing this opener thing for Kumar, you unlocked a pregame thing, you unlocked a little pregame routine, and maybe he carries that into a game where you insert him back into the traditional starter role. That, I think, would be the biggest positive that I hope is taken away here. Whatever you did, and I know you can't totally replicate it if you're a traditional starter, but whatever you did, do most of it in your next outing, please. Whatever you did pregame before the game to get ready for this, repeat it. Rinse, repeat, baby. I mean, look, maybe it's got to be something like that. B Daddy, I'm with you on this. It's got to be something like this. Maybe Cripple King, this is a great point. Appreciate you, my guy. Always good to see you. It might be, that he got that early lead, but I feel like you've seen Kumar get early leads before, and, sometimes he'll end up getting you that shutdown inning, sometimes not. He's going to strike out Fulford here, and there's 2 outs remaining here in the bottom of the 9th for Colorado. Who knows what it is? Just whatever you can do to replicate this, minus the opener. I don't obviously think they're going to do an opener every single start for Kumar. I think they'll try it for a couple. Maybe they won't even try it again. Maybe they'll go right back to him starting next time. Nothing would really surprise me. I'd be shocked if this becomes a long-term thing, but maybe just a good little reset, a good little mental reset, just jolt the body a little bit, give him something different in the warm-up, in the approach. Those, to me, are all the positives. And then, of course, like I said earlier, the mental, I hope he takes it a little personal. I hope he keeps working hard. I hope that he is hungry to figure out whatever is going wrong in the opening innings of ball games. And tonight, he is looking every bit like the 2022 first-round draft pick that the Rangers envisioned when they took him that night. Rumfield up to bat right now, and he is down quickly into a 1-2 count. I can't remember getting an early lead ever with this offense lately. Yeah, I think that is one way to look at it. This offense, they have not gotten a ton of early leads. However, I want to say, did I see or hear the stat on the broadcast that they're 17-3 when they score first? So they could improve to 18-3 when they score first. It's a great stat. One of my favorite coaches ever always talked about like the pillars of baseball. And one of the pillars was always score first. It's such a huge thing in baseball for whatever reason. I mean, look, obviously it gets you up on the board. It gets you the lead right away. That's not rocket science, but something about it, man. You score first, you draw first blood. You get that shutdown inning. That was another one of the pillars, shutdown inning. Crooked number at some point in the game. Got to get that crooked number. And the fourth one was respond, right? They score a run, you score a run. Those were the 4 pillars. I'll always remember that. You do those things in a lot of ball games, you're going to win a ton at any level. At any level. And tonight, the Rangers doing a little bit of all 3 of that, right? Rockies didn't score, so no chance to make that comeback, no chance to even or match what they're doing. They got a bunch of goose eggs, but you've got crooked numbers. You scored first. You've gotten shutdown innings every single time. The 4 pillars of baseball, baby. Love it. Appreciate all y'all hanging out. Instagram, what do we got? We got a few people hanging out on Instagram. Good to see all y'all. I'm trying to be better at checking my Instagram comments. Y'all, you got to forgive me. All my people watching on Insta, man, hang with me. I got a lot going on at one time. We got TikTok on the phone over here. We got YouTube, X, Facebook. We got a little bit of everything, man. Thank you for being patient with me. Kumar Rocker's going to walk on a full count here. Going to walk Tovar, I believe. 17-3 when they score first. Hey, good to see you, man. Love you. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you as always. Announcers, 17-3. Skip, we're pulling him. Rangers looking to go 18-3 and improve that record, right? We're pulling him. For 1 out. In a 10-run game? Is he really that gassed? 103, okay. Okay, all right. And 103, come on. He's got one more batter in the tank. Let's go. Man up, baby. Let's go. 110, no problem. All right. I guess we'll get one more out with somebody else. Kumar, outstanding night for him. John, you might be right. I mean, look, I definitely feel like at this point you got to get wins. So let's start there. Clearly, I don't think this is sustainable long term for Kumar, but I will say that was an incredibly well pitched baseball game by him. Just whatever you did in the buildup, obviously it's different when you're coming in, but whatever you did in the buildup, please rinse and repeat, baby. Kumar, though, the final line on him, well, can't do a final line because the runner on first base is his. But he exits the game with this stat line: 7 2/3, 3 hits, 3 walks, 7K. Has he ever gone this many? I don't think he's ever gone 7 2/3. This is probably the longest outing of his career, isn't it? It's got to be the longest outing of his career. What's everyone's honest thoughts on the Rangers announcers? I want to hear it. I think Dave and Mike are really nice, but personally, I'm always going radio, syncing up the radio as much as I possibly can. Mike and Dave are a little too zany for me at times. Look, I'm a little more old school, but I grew up on radio, right? I mean, look, I'm a 90s kid. I grew up late night listening to the radio, and for me, I just enjoy the radio call much better. I don't mind the broadcasters. Like, a lot of the times I will listen to RSN and whatever they've got going on. I don't want to go off on this. We got a lot to talk about with tonight's game, and I've kind of already breached this topic a couple of different times. But yeah, give me the radio, guys. I just like it. I like Jared a lot on the call. You guys know, big fan of Jared. And of course, Nate L. Hicksey. They're both, I think, two of the best to do it. So for me, give me the radio, guys, every time. And let's go ahead and cue the I Like Texas music. Bust out the boombox on the road. Get the Pat Green going, baby. Hello, win column. Zeke makes the catch in foul territory. What a game for him. We're going to talk about Zeke Duran here in a second. Zeke Duran, among all second basemen in the major leagues since May 5th, Zeke Duran has the most hits among all major league second basemen. So we're talking the last 14, 15 games. There are 0 major league second basemen that have more hits than Ezequiel Duran over that span. I believe Zeke is up to 18 hits in his last 15 games, and that leads Major League Baseball among second basemen over that span. And if you're going wider, if you're going all major league players, Zeke is in the top 10. Among all major league players, among the top 10 in hits over the last 15 games. It's impressive, man. Like, I know some people, when I threw out Zeke winning the starting job and then, shoot, he's not going to stop there. He might be trying to get a little all-star bid. I got a little pushback. It absolutely, I think, is possible if he keeps this up, man. He's one of the best offensive AL second basemen in the league right now. I mean, there's no way around it. Productivity, RBI. He and Bryson Stott, I believe, are tied for the most RBI in that 2-week stretch we're talking about. It's him and it's Bryson Stott atop with, I think, 12 RBI over their last 15 games. So impressive from Zeke, man. I mean, this is rare air. This is top tier stuff. We're not just seeing a guy who's, on a nice little 3-game heater. This is sustained excellence. And we'll knock on wood for him. Obviously, we want to ride this out as long as we can. And I've told y'all, enjoy it. Baseball is a tough sport. Enjoy this. Seriously. We 100% have been fortunate to watch some really brilliant performances tonight Kumar Rocker, obviously among the tops on that list. Rocker, probably the best outing of his major league career. I don't think that's too prisoner of the moment. I don't think that's reactionary. I cannot think of a better outing for Kumar Rocker. 7 2/3, no earned runs. Yeah, I just do not think there is any other start, any other outing you're going to look at and best what he did tonight. Even more impressive that he does it at Coors Field. Even more impressive. Props to Kumar Rocker, man. This is the kind of game I think a lot of people were really hoping you would see more of from him this year. And let's hope that this is the start of something beautiful for him, because you're at a point with Kumar where he's got some things he needs to work on, but you're really looking for him to take that next step, right? And at this point, he's had a little bit of an up and down 2026. You love what you got tonight. You had to do it a little unconventionally with the opener, Tyler Alexander. And credit to Tyler Alexander, right? Like, it does get really hairy. This is Skip's words. It gets messy when that opener does not have a clean 1 or 2 innings. So I think we got to credit Tyler Alexander as well. Tyler Alexander comes in, goes 2 innings, throws up a couple zeros. Goes 1 inning, throws up a 0, gets a K, and sets it all up for Kumar. I know it's only 1 inning, but Skip's right. Like, you give up 2 or 3 runs in that spot if you're Tyler, and you're already creating a hole for Kumar Rocker, who's coming in afterwards. It's tough. So credit to Tyler Alexander as well. Keep on rolling. Does that mean we just trade Josh Smith? That's a good question. You know, for me, it kind of depends a little bit on Cody Freeman and his development. I think you do have a little bit of a log jam with the utility guys. And think about what you've got in the farm, right? You've got Walcott coming up, infielder. You've got Cam Cauley coming up, infielder. I know Cam has played a little outfield as well. You've got a lot of infield guys that are kind of up and comers right now in the farm system. And so for me, yeah, I do think some of these infielders are going to be expendable. It might be Smitty. It might not be. And think about this, right? They've got Haggerty, who I think is probably going to find a tough time keeping a roster spot. I just think writing's on the wall. I think they're probably going to give Cody Freeman an opportunity over Sam. And I like Sam a lot. Had a lot of fun covering him last year when he joined the team. And even into this year, right? In spring training, Haggerty was raking, especially against lefties. He hasn't had a great start to 2026. Haggerty is probably going to be the guy who's a little bit expendable. I can't see them taking away at bats from Cody Freeman and giving them to Haggerty. And Haggerty right now is kind of filling that infield, outfield role. He's playing some left field. He's playing, I know he's able to play second base too. But with Foscue up, you haven't really needed for him to play infield. I think it's probably going to be him before they do anything drastic like with Josh Smith. But moving forward, especially next year, if you are looking to get Walcott on the active roster on the 26-man, yeah, some of these infield guys are really going to have to prove it. They're really going to have to distinguish themselves from the pack. You have a bit of a logjam in the infield right now with everything the Rangers have in the AAA program. And then obviously what they've got at the major league level with Ezequiel Duran, his emergence, Josh Young having a good year. You've got Foscue, apparently now raking. Maybe it's just the Coors Field effect. I hope it travels. He's got one more day at Coors. JF, he has got to enjoy this. Dude just becomes like a different man, a different ball player in Colorado. I hope that it continues. I hope it travels, and I hope it travels back to Arlington especially. I've been a fan of Foscue getting a longer runway for a while, and I'm glad that he's taking advantage of it. I don't know that it's going to be long-lasting for him at the big league level. Very possible that he's a little bit up and down this year. We'll see. But I do think it's going to be an interesting, let's call it, 6 or 7 months here, what the Rangers decide to do, not only at this trade deadline with some of these players, but also in the offseason. I've kind of thrown it out there. My gut feeling is if the Rangers buy at the deadline, you're probably going to be in a situation where you're going to have to throw in a major league ready talent. And I do think that one of the infielders probably fits that bill. So let's just say they go crazy, and I don't even know who they'd go after. I know we've been throwing out like Bryce Terang a lot, but it doesn't even have to be Bryce Terang. Don't get caught up on that. Let's say the Rangers go after the biggest bat that's on the trade market, and they throw out a nice trade package for him. You think Walcott might be in there. Depends on who it is. Depends on how many years of control there are. But along with the Walcott, if you're going after that biggest fish, you're probably going to need to throw in an MLB talent. I think a lot of teams, if it comes to a really, really good, controllable current player that's all-star caliber, yeah, you want some prospects. But if you can get it, you also maybe want to get a little major league talent that you can plug right in. So for me, I'm very curious how the next 7 months, let's say, unfold with some of these infielders. It's going to be interesting, no doubt. It really is. Who's pitching tomorrow? Lighter. Seager, I just don't see it as long as the team is competitive. Cool Buzz, appreciate you. If the team is competing for October for a championship, I don't see how you justify trading Corey Seager. I know Corey is not in a good place right now, and I think that he probably is ailing with some of the back spasms, but I'd imagine, like CY said on the radio, that this is about a mental reset just as much as a physical reset. CY kind of alluded to that as much. But for me, I don't think you're getting rid of Corey if you are planning on being competitive. I've said this before, and we don't talk about it a lot. And with the Rangers' struggles over the past 2 years, we sadly haven't really been able to talk a lot of October baseball, right? But I will say this. You need guys that have been there, done that, if you're really planning on having success in October. Corey Seager, 2-time World Series MVP. When the lights of October start getting a little bit brighter than the regular seasons, you want guys that have been there. They've been in the moments. They've been there when the most pressure possible is placed on you. And I don't want to see the Rangers make any kind of quick decision with him. You want Corey Seagers on your roster if you are in October, because there are guys that totally crumble in the postseason. They crumble. And then you've got guys that, yeah, maybe they ho-hummed it in the regular season, but when October rolls around, when that calendar turns, they just kick it up another gear. Corey always has felt like that kind of player to me. Like, regardless of what he did in the regular season, when he gets into October, he just becomes a different animal. And I think the Rangers, if they are planning on winning a World Series and competing for that this year, you got to have Corey. Got to have it. Luckily, the AL is not very good this year. I will agree with you on that for sure. Seager, actually, crazy enough, I know a lot of people don't like the defense, and it hasn't been great this year. I'll give you that. Last year, though, Seager almost won a Gold Glove, man. He was, I think, second or third in Gold Glove voting for shortstop. So I think he's just had a rough start, but I think Corey, still a pretty decent glove out there. Again, hasn't had a great start to 2026. But I'm willing to give him a little bit of grace. I really am. I don't feel like Corey has lived up to his fullest potential over the past couple of years, and injuries have played a part in that. But I still think he is a very good ball player. Having some trouble right now, but I really do think Siegs finds it. Probably at this rate, it'll be in June. But I do think he finds it. I do think we see him go on a heater before too much more time passes. We keep going. Let's see. I agree with this, B Daddy. I do think Siegs deserves a little more grace than maybe some of the other players that have really stunk it up over the last 2 years. I'm with you. Malcolm Moore is having some good years for sure. Jerry, appreciate you, man. Yeah, Malcolm is definitely coming along. He's having a nice season. I think you probably will see him get promoted before too long. maybe be a guy who starts featuring a bit more at Round Rock and AAA. The Rangers need Malcolm Moore to pop. Make no mistake about it. They need Malcolm Moore to pop. They have Cooper Johnson, who I like. I like Cooper a lot down at Round Rock right now. He's good defensively. He's actually, I would say, above average throwing out base runners. I like Cooper Johnson a lot. The bat is not something that I think you can point to as a super strength for him at the moment. And just based on the last few years, definitely something that he can improve on for sure. But if you're just going by results on the field, Cooper's got, I think, the defense dialed in pretty well, but the offense still a bit lacking. You have Malcolm Moore as really one of your only true hopes at being, I think, a legit everyday all-star potential catcher. The Rangers drafted him in the first round a few years ago. I mean, this is a first-round talent. He's got the pedigree. He's played some college ball, played at Stanford. I'd love for Malcolm Moore to pop. Really would love for that to work out. Rangers fans, you're not dreaming. We are currently in the wild card and half out of a division lead. Yeah, the AL is a bit of a mess right now. It is a bit of a mess right now, y'all. We'll take it. We will take it. All right. More comments, more questions getting answered along the way. Yeah, I've said this before as well. Appreciate the comment, my guy. Comment is Seager deserves the grace, but you can only expect 120 from him. Yeah, I've said that often. Like, if you can just kind of get into a mental headspace with Siegs, we're only going to see him for $120. If you can just get into that headspace, I think you're going to be a lot happier with him. If you're expecting him to play 150, 140, 145, it's probably not going to happen. I've kind of tried to get myself in a good headspace with Siegs where, you know what, if he does give me that 120, you're probably going to get 25 homers, 85 to 90 RBI, and that's pretty good for 120 games. I mean, clearly you'd love to have him 150 plus, but it's just not what Siegs has done over the past several years of his career. I think if more fans can mentally accept that Seager's probably missing 40 games a year, that's what it is, I think that it frames it a lot better. I think if you totally are expecting, 150, 155, you're going to be disappointed. Big time. Angels and A's, 6-4 A's. All right, then. We'll keep our eye on that one. I am just glad the Rangers got a win. You did not want to lose this series to Colorado. You really did not. You did not want to lose this series to the Rockies, man. Absolutely not. Cody's prediction, 6-4. I believe we're at 6-4. Rangers need to go 4-1. 4-1 for Cody's prediction to come true. Cody Freeman stopped by the show about a week and a half ago after the Rangers dropped their first game to the Chicago Cubs at home. Cody said they're going on a 10-5 run. Right now, they are at 6-4 since Cody made that prediction. They'd have to go 4-1 over their next 5 games to make him look good. Let's see if they can get it done. Hey, Big D51, appreciate the rose, man. Thank you so much. The roses. You're the man. Not needed, but much appreciated, my guy. Thank you so much. We keep going, man. Appreciate all the comments tonight. You guys are doing great. Duran, Nimmo, and Jock, 10 hits combined. If you would have told me that in any game, Nimmo, Duran, and Jock, I mean, no shade to Nimmo, it's really Duran and Jock that I think you would have been the most surprised about. If you would have told me that Nimmo, Duran, and Jock in any one game this year are going to combine for 10 hits, I would not have believed you. I wouldn't have believed you. 10 hits between those three guys? We all like Brandon Nimmo. I don't think a lot of us would have predicted Jock Peterson, Ezequiel Duran, and Nims are going to be combining for double-digit hits. Let's see. We brought up Martin and sent down Collier. Scratch my head at that. Look, a lot of a lot of noise about this afternoon. You guys know where I stand on the C-Mart thing. I have been a C-Mart defender for a while. And before the season started, I even made the argument C-Mart being the guy who I like to close games. I like the swing and miss. I like the high velocity. This was in the offseason. I mean, last year C-Mart was upper 90s with great swing and miss. In fact, I touted the stat. Last year, Chris Martin had a better chase percentage than like Skubal and Skeens and DeGrom. Like Chris Martin, when healthy, was actually really pretty good last year. And so coming into this year, I expected that you would get that same level. Chris Martin, he has not looked good in 2026. Spring training, regular season, AAA, the rehab stint did not go very well. And a lot of people upset, which I totally get. I, in fact, posted about this, and I had a couple of people, trying to, I guess, rebuttal, maybe play a little oppositionist. I don't know. A lot of people were saying in defense, like, well, they just needed an arm. Gore yesterday, the bullpen threw a lot of innings. Collier, he had thrown back-to-back days, and this was just about getting an arm. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Chris Martin coming up was not about just needing an arm, because why wouldn't you have gone with Corniel, who has a 2.16 ERA right now in AAA? Corniel has a 2.16 ERA. He's on the 40 man. You could have brought up Corniel. You could have made Chris Martin stay down there and rehab longer, but you decided to bring up C-Mart. You could have brought up Curvelo. Curvelo is back. He's healthy again. You could have brought back Curvelo. It's not just about needing an arm. Come on now. It's about the $4 million that they paid C-Mart, and they don't want to be wrong on it. They want Chris Martin to come back up. They paid him $4 million, and they do not want to be wrong. So they're not going to admit right now defeat. They're not. They're going to put his butt back into what I think is probably going to end up being decent leverage spots. I don't think he's going to come in and take over the 8th or the 9th inning, but I bet they'll probably try and use him in the 7th inning, high leverage. It's not going to shock me. This wasn't just about filling a spot, getting a fresh arm. Come on, you could have brought up Corniel or Curvelo if you just wanted a fresh arm. Those guys are pitching better than Chris Martin is right now. The Rangers invested unwisely, in my opinion, $4 million into C-Mart, and they have not been rewarded. But in typical Rangers front office fashion, they do not want to get proven wrong or admit error. Much like the Jock Peterson signing, right? And Jock had a nice game tonight. Let's not make this a Jock bash session by any means. But to me, I am not very happy about Collier going down. I did see, Carson, that Skip said that Collier is not going to be down for long. But nevertheless, look, it's concerning to me. I'm thinking about Robert Garcia coming back. If you thought that fans hated this move, wait till they send down Peyton Gray and activate Robert Garcia. You think I'm kidding? I am not going to be shocked one bit. And then you're going to get the same company line about needing fresh arms. I'm telling you guys, brace for it right now. Peyton Gray option to AAA, Robert Garcia activated. Brace yourself for it. Mentally prepare yourself for it, because that's another trade. That's another move the Rangers do not want to be wrong on. Going and getting Robert Garcia, dealing Nathaniel Lowe to the Nationals. It's another trade. It's another acquisition, another move CY in the front office do not want to be wrong on. I can only imagine what the scenes are going to be on X and social media in general when Peyton Gray gets optioned wrongfully back to AAA for Robert Garcia activation. I wish I was kidding. I really do believe that that tweet is going to get sent out by one of the beats. And I do not want to be right, but I have a bad feeling I'm going to be. I said it online today. Peyton Gray plus Gavin Collier. I will take those two rookies over Robert Garcia and Chris Martin every day of the week. Even if hypothetically, let's just say hypothetically, you think Chris Martin and Robert Garcia are better than Collier and Gray. The margin between those two tandems is razor thin at best. At best, it's razor thin. So even if you're living in a world where you think that Robert Garcia and Chris Martin in tandem are better than Gavin Collier and Peyton Gray, the margin is not very big at all. And I would much rather work the rookies and give them an opportunity, help develop them. I would much rather give them a shot than go with guys who've already been up and have already struggled in high leverage, especially roles. For me, I am not looking forward to what might be coming in the future when the Rangers get some of these guys back. Chris Martin already being one of them. Robert Garcia, I don't think is close right now. I think they're probably targeting, a midsummer return for him just based on the updates. What is midsummer? Maybe late June. I feel like Robert Garcia is going to be a little while yet. Chris Martin better come out dealing. I mean, that's all there is to it. He better come out dealing because the first sign of trouble, it is going to be loud from Rangers fans. You demoted Gavin Collier, who started his first 12 games without allowing an earned run. First 11 games or 12 games, one of the two. Gavin Collier, first 11 games in the big league, 0 earned runs. And then, C-Mark gives up a 3 spot right away. I am very leery about how this is going to work out. I just hope it doesn't end up costing the Rangers a win. Jack, I hope you're right. I hope you are right about Martin. I do not have a lot of confidence in that situation. I think Martin, God bless him. And look, I'm a fan of C-Mart. Arlington High, my alma mater, his alma mater as well. Missed him by a few years, but nevertheless, I absolutely am rooting for him to do well. I don't sit here and cheer for him to fail, but with him being the age that he is, and with him demonstrating the signs that he has, along with the health concerns, I'm not very optimistic. I'm really not. Baumler, yeah. Well, I mean, Holly, that's a great point. What do you do with Carter Baumler? I'm a little bit interested to see, they've got like the roster situation with him, right? Like he has to be on the roster. So I don't know exactly what is going to happen, what is going to transpire with him. It's going to be interesting. It really is. Baumler, for me, is a guy that I liked a lot in spring training. And he's another guy I'd rather have over C-Mart. I'd rather have Carter Baumler than C-Mart at this point. Like Baumler, I know is rough around the edges. He definitely demonstrated some very nice off speed in that upper 90s high octane fastball, but he struggled with walks. He wasn't perfect. He did work himself out of a number of jams impressively that he created on his own, let's be real. But that's another, what do you do with that? We'll see what happens. How do I feel about some of the minor league arms, Leandro Lopez and others? Look, I don't think the Rangers have a plethora of amazing options down in the minor leagues that are going to come and be helpful like next year. I like a lot of the arms in the farm system. I really do. Obviously, we all know the headliners, the ones that are at the top of the Rangers prospect list, but I don't know if there's a lot of guys that are going to be able to help real soon. But I will say, I think there's a lot of promise. Yeah, Leandro Lopez. You've got other guys as well. Teodo obviously is up there. Corniel, I really like. Corniel's actually starting some games, right? I know he's kind of bounced around between relief pitching and starting pitching. They've actually started Corniel the last 2 outings. So, look, there's definitely a couple of guys that I've got my eye on in terms of helping within the next year or two. But I do think the Rangers, a lot of the guys that I like the most are probably 3-4 years away from being impact players. Alexis Diaz is definitely another guy that I think he's got a sub 3 ERA right now in AAA. He's another guy. Yeah, this is a good point with Chris Martin. Like, CY always is good at finding bargain bin relief pitchers. Why did you pay C-Mart $4 million? It's kind of interesting. That is something I don't think gets talked about enough. It's a great comment. Why would you spend on C-Mart an older relief pitcher when you have all these other guys at your disposal? Jock Peterson getting interviewed right now. I got to go back and watch some of these interviews. Rocker got interviewed. Jock's getting interviewed by Laura right now. Skip got interviewed as well. I'll have to go back and rewatch all these. If Martin continues to struggle, how do you think the Rangers will give him? How long will they give him before releasing him? I kind of feel like this is C-Mart's last rodeo. I don't think he wants to go and play anywhere else. I was going back and forth with a couple of people on this today. I don't think C-Mart wants to go anywhere else. I don't think he wants to go play for Pittsburgh. He's a DFW native. I think at this point in his career, it was attractive to play for the Rangers because this is where he's from. He's from Arlington, right? He's from the Metroplex. So for me, I don't think that there's really any worry. Well, he's going to go to another squad and burn you. I don't know if he's going to be willing to accept an assignment to AAA either. Maybe. It's possible. But I do kind of feel like this is his last rodeo. If this doesn't go well over the next couple of weeks, I want to say this. If he doesn't continue to pitch well, I think by mid-June, you could potentially see him DFA'd. I don't think they're going to keep him around forever. And like I said, the risk of another team swooping in and signing him, it's possible, but I don't think he wants to go and pitch randomly for some other team that's far away from his home. So we'll see. Maybe they can find a trade, but if I had to guess, I think it's just going to be a DFA. They have to pay him the rest of his contract, and he kind of rides off into the sunset. That would be my prediction on C-Mart. Move Rocker to the pen. Bring in Bauer. That would be polarizing. That would be spicy. Look, we've talked about Bauer off and on. I think Bauer should get an opportunity in the major leagues. He has obviously rubbed some people the wrong way. I think from the top down. I think there's a lot of support for him too. I don't think the Rangers are really in a place where they need to do that. They've got options. Bauer, to me, is definitely still able to pitch in the bigs. I think he could be a serviceable arm. I don't think he's going to come back and light it up Cy Young candidate style, but I think Bauer could still make an impact as a team's maybe fourth option, something like that. Rangers, I don't think they really need to take the Bauer risk at that point. There was a time, I think maybe in 24 or 25, when Bauer was pitching over in Japan, a couple of years younger. I think that it made a little bit more sense then. I think right now with what you've got with the rotation being what it is, with the add of Gore, it's really not a place for Bauer. Although I think it'd be fun if he got back in the major leagues. It would just be, if anything, a little controversial and stir it up a little bit in the sport. I'm here for it, man. The more we're talking about baseball in the sports world, the better, in my humble opinion. Yeah, Jackson, I'm with you on this, and you and I have always been in lockstep on this, my guy. Like, can't move a first rounder this early to the pen. Kumar Rocker is infinitely more valuable to you as a starting pitcher. Short term, could you do it? Yeah, but what is that going to do to his development as a starter? You really want Kumar to continue on the starting pitching path. let's say you end up trading Kumar. You're going to get so much more for him as a high potential starting pitcher than you are with, hey, he's a good long relief guy and, you might be able to convert him to a closer. There's so much more value in Kumar Rocker being a starting pitcher, whether you keep him in the organization or whether you trade him. So I got to continue to be a champion for Kumar staying in the starting rotation. If you don't like what you're seeing right now from Kumar, I think the answer is not move him to the bullpen. I think the answer is continue to start him. And you know what? This was a great outing tonight. He's actually pitched, 12 2/3 of scoreless baseball in a row consecutively. He had 5 shutout innings last time out. He had 7 2/3 of shutout baseball tonight, 12 2/3 scoreless for Kumar. He's not doing too bad, man. He really isn't. So for me, I think they need to stay the course with him for sure. Hey, somebody brought up Bochy. Who was that? What was Bochy doing different? Brian, what are you referring to specifically? Your comment's making me think of something, though, that I wanted to talk about. You guys remember last year when, obviously things got off to a little bit of a rough start after the 8-2 first 10 games. Things started going downhill a little bit. I do remember there was a really big criticism of Bruce Bochy that I've kind of not really seen play out with Skip Schumacher as much. And it's just interesting to me. I wanted to see what you guys think about it. So I remember last year, there was a really big contingency of Rangers fans that hated how Bruce Bochy would move around the lineup so much, right? And the knock was basically, man, none of these guys can get into a rhythm. What is he doing? He's always tinkering, messing with this lineup. It's throwing off our guys' rhythm. Do y'all remember this? Because this was like a real thing that I would have to talk about a lot on the lives. I feel like Skip changes the lineup every dang day. To be clear on my position, I'm fine with it. I don't think there's anything to having the same lineup every single day. I've said it over and over again as a former ball player. Again, didn't play beyond college baseball, never was going to make it to the major leagues. I did not give a crap where I hit. And once you step in that box, you're not thinking, well, I'm hitting leadoff today. And so, I need to do something different up here. Man, when you're in the box, you don't even care about that stuff. It doesn't even matter where you're hitting in the lineup. It's just mano-y-mano in the box, man. You're just doing what you've always done. So for me, I never understood the Bruce Bochy criticism last year of how he would always move around guys in the lineup and mess with the order. Skip does it every day. I'm totally fine with it, so I don't want anybody to get this twisted. But it's just kind of intriguing to me how I really haven't seen a lot of people complaining about it this year, but it was a big complaint, I felt like, for Bruce Bochy. I feel like people would use that as a knock on Boch pretty incessantly, especially when things weren't going well. Feel like I haven't heard that excuse at all this year with Skip. And obviously the Rangers have a losing record right now. This is not a winning ball club. Now, can they be? Yes. Are they in a playoff spot right now? Also, yes. But the facts are the facts. They're 23-25. For me, do whatever you've got to do to get this lineup contributing and being productive. I don't think Skip needs to stick with one set lineup. I will say I really do like Nimmo in the 3-hole. It's interesting to me with Corey Seager struggling. I do wonder if Nimmo in the 3-hole is going to be something that they stick with. Look, it worked out great today. 3 for 4 with 3 RBI and a bomb. I think Brandon Nimmo hitting in that 3 spot is very, very curious to me. I wonder if they are going to continue with it, even when Corey Seager comes back. I know that Seager has always hit 2 or 3. It's been like a very consistent thing. I'd really like to see maybe Corey go into the 4 spot. Maybe you move Corey up to 2 ahead of Nimmo. I actually kind of like that. It's good protection for Corey Seager. I do think the negative is you're hitting Corey Seager second. He's getting the second most at bats spread out over a whole season. And if he's going cold, obviously that's not going to go great. But I feel like Brandon Nimmo in the 3 spot is interesting to me. In fact, some of you might remember one of the lineups that I had floated out there to you guys at one point was Wyatt Langford hitting leadoff. I like Wyatt Langford hitting leadoff for a number of reasons. I like the speed, I like the pop. At the time, and I think coming into the 2026 season, Langford was pretty good with the eye. Now, this year, he was probably a little bit more undisciplined than we would have liked to see from him coming out of the gate. But my lineup was let's go Langford and then let's go Seager and Nimmo back to back. Nimmo protecting Corey Seager is always something I've enjoyed. The pushback that I got on that was, well, you have 2 lefties back to back. Who cares? Like, who cares? 2 lefties back to back, whatever. I'm not worried about 2 lefties back to back. Brandon Nimmo, not a guy who hits terrible against lefties, although he's much better against righties. If you can get a number 4 hitter, that was kind of the big thing, right? Who's going to step up and hit fourth? If Josh Young continues on this tear that he's been on, I think hitting Young fourth, and then you have either the opportunity to hit Jock fifth, or Evan Carter, I know, has been hitting fifth. He hasn't been particularly playing great, although he did have a base knock today. I just think that Nimmo 3 spot, they might be onto something. I'd like to see it play out a little bit more. I just feel like he's one of the more consistent hitters that the team has, and you want those types of hitters in the biggest RBI spots and getting the most RBI opportunities. Anyways, just throwing that out there, y'all. Let's see what happens. Uncle Ted says, I want lefties the whole time. There you go. Langford 2 weeks out. Seager Monday. There we go. Lefty bats have a massive ground ball advantage. I know it's so fascinating to me just how the analytics have all played into it with, the lineups and mixing and matching. And look, Skip's philosophy that he shared recently, just trying to get to the starters quickly, not worrying about late game matchups. I don't know if I'm all on board with that. I do think you still have to be careful about the late game matchups, especially with the team like the Rangers that are notorious for always being in a ball game. But more often than not, the Rangers need runs late. And so it is a little dangerous stacking the lefties like Skip has done, like trips left to start a game. All right, you got Carter, you got Nimmo, Seager, 3 lefties in a row. I don't know how smart that is. I mean, I know you can definitely pinch hit people. You're not going to pinch hit Simo. You're not going to pinch hit Nimmo or Seager. But, I mean, Carter you could do it for. For me, I like the idea of good protection for Corey. When you have Corey third and then Jake Berger fourth, no disrespect to Jake Berger, that's just not the premium bat that you want protecting Corey. You want a guy that teams don't want to face. And Brandon Nimmo, I don't think has quite as much name brand recognition or respect as Corey Seager does. But there's not a lot of teams that are going to be eager to pitch to Brandon Nimmo. It might actually help get Seager's back going. We'll see. We'll keep on going. My big issue with Skip is that he moves low order bats who get hot up in the order where they fold under the pressure. This is actually something I've talked about as well. I like when we maintain where guys are doing well. We don't knee-jerk reaction. Hey, Zeke Duran, 3 hits today. You were hitting 7th, but you got 3 hits. So now we're going to move you up to 4th. I don't like that either. I think sometimes you can actually track success with where guys are hitting in the order. Jake Berger is an example of a guy in this exact situation. He's hitting 6th tonight, and he's hit like 7th and 8th in the past couple of weeks as well. Like, don't move Berger back to cleanup. Just keep him in the lower spots where clearly he's getting better pitches to hit or easier pitches for him to hit. He's not hitting in spots that are as pressureful. So for me, I'm totally with this comment 100%. I think it's a great perspective. Just keep guys where they're doing well. Now, look, there are certain bats like Josh Young. I'm okay with it. At first, I was very hesitant to really start moving JJ up, but I think he's proven that he can handle it. He had one hit today, couple of walks, 298 average, 821 OPS. And JJ's been a guy that you've used up towards the top of the order. 2023, you were hitting him third, you were hitting him fourth. He's been there, done that. I'm okay with Josh Young moving up. Berger always has kind of felt to me like, you're not hitting Berg any higher than 5. 4 felt a little bit ambitious, although he had such a good spring training. You almost couldn't fault Skip for having him in the cleanup spot. He crushed it in spring training. I don't think anybody batted an eye with how hot Berger was in Arizona. But I think in retrospect, like in hindsight, you're looking at that and you're seeing, okay, we probably were swinging a little bit out of our shoes there. Probably punching up a little bit too high in the weight class. Let's dial it back. And I think Berger hitting 6 or below is probably a good spot for him. Did we make any errors today? No. And in fact, I'm thinking about like even the weird plays that it's not an error, but it should have been. I don't think there were any plays like that today. I can't think of any. Can you guys think of anything? Let me know in the chat if you saw something that maybe didn't get labeled error but should have been made. I didn't see anything like that. In fact, there were a couple of nice plays. A couple of balls run down well in the outfield. A couple of tough plays in the infield I saw get made. I don't know. Felt like a pretty clean game. And it's not a shock that the Rangers have a clean game in the field and they pitch a shutout. Peterson is kind of hot right now. Yes, he is. Am I the only one concerned when a runner gets on, they steal too easily? Yeah, that's been an issue for the past few years. Look, Danny Jansen and Kyle Higashioka, they've been better this year controlling the run game compared to last year. But I can't say I feel great about either one of them in the field. Yeah, Jansen's throw yesterday, how was that not an error? Cole, I was thinking about that same thing, man. Thanks for the comments. Good to see you, bud. How was that Jansen? Do we even want to call it a throw that almost went into right field? How was that not an error? Maybe because it was caught. Like Foscue, I think, actually caught the ball, even though he was like halfway in between first and second. Is that why that's not an error? I mean, whatever. I mean, that's why you can't always trust like fielding percentage. I know like in the arguments that I've gone back and forth with fans about, like with JJ, JJ has not been a great defender this year. He called himself, he called himself an expletive. We'll try and keep it clean on the show. Y'all know how I roll. But look up the quote. I mean, he did not mince any words. Josh basically saying he's playing like crap, right? And so for me, I just totally think at this point, if you're using fielding percentage as your main metric for how good a defender is playing, we got to have a conversation, man. You see these official scorers mess around way too much. The official scorer last night said Josh Young's error that led to 2 runs was a hit. Then he went back and like reviewed it and changed it a couple innings later. But for a while, they had that Josh Young 2-run error yesterday as a hit. Like, seriously. Nate, you like that? Simo, the new nickname for the Seager Nimmo duo. You heard it here first at Right on Rangers. And the only reason you heard it is because I'm working on about a 14-hour day right now. Simo, baby. Hey, I like it. I like it. Liam Hicks is a painful one for a lot of Rangers fans. I will say, you've heard me criticize Chris Young for letting guys go. You've heard me do it. There were a lot of teams that passed on Hicks. First of all, the Tigers dumped him, right? Do we all understand that? Even the Tigers, the team that we traded Liam Hicks to get Carson Kelly, even the Tigers dumped Liam Hicks. And then there were a bunch of teams that didn't even pick up Liam Hicks in free agency when the Tigers dumped him. So for me, at this point, I don't hold the Liam Hicks trade against Chris Young that much. because there were so many other teams that passed up on him. It's one thing if you trade somebody and then they pop immediately. Like, Devin Fitzgerald is an example. And look, I know not a lot of people had DFG on their radar when the Rangers traded him to the Nationals for Mackenzie Gore. But if DFG turns into a star with the Nationals, that's one you're going to look at and be like, CY, really? But with Liam Hicks, it sucks. But the fact that so many other teams passed on him, for me, I don't hold that one against CY as much. Take it or leave it. You might not agree with me on this one, but when that many other teams pass on a player as well, that tells me what Liam Hicks is doing right now this year is just extra special and just really hard to see coming. We keep going. I never knew Hicks was ours. Yeah, we traded him for Carson Kelly back in 2024. I mean, look, that to me is absolutely one that you're going to look back on and be like, man, we had him. But again, so many other teams passed on him. It's just not one that I really hold against CY. Name of the game, consistency. What are we going to do tomorrow? What are we going to do tomorrow? That is the big question. Are we going to come out and score 1 run tomorrow? Are we going to come out and put up another 10 spot? Could we use Duran to make a good trade? Yes, and I do see the Rangers trading. If they do want to go out and make a big swing this year, I think they will trade one of the infielders who's at the major league level right now. Whether that's, Josh Young, I don't think it'll be him just because he's too much of a staple. Maybe it's Zeke, maybe it's Josh Smith, maybe it's one of the other guys. I do think there's going to be a major league player traded this year if the Rangers want to take a really big swing at the deadline. Not going to surprise me at all. Appreciate you guys hanging. What do we even do at the deadline? My thing has very consistently been you got to upgrade the right side of the infield. Love what Duran is doing. Love what Foscue did over the past 2 days. You can always figure out where to play those guys. And Duran honestly can play anywhere, so it really doesn't matter. Look, if Evan Carter continues to struggle, Evan Carter's got a 590 OPS. You can put Langford in center field and Duran can play left. Duran's not my favorite outfielder, but the bat's so hot, you got to keep him in the lineup. Even if you go and upgrade second base, for example, you can still play Duran in so many different spots. First base would be another position I'd look at upgrading. Jake Berger's an awesome guy. It's not consistent enough for me. You want a first baseman that can take walks and that can hit for a little bit more consistent power. Jake Berger can knock the crap out of a baseball. He has some of the best raw power in the league, but there's way too much swing and miss. It's not consistent enough. I hope that he unlocks it. I truly do, but I'm a little worried about it lasting down the stretch. 162. Jake Berger, to me, a little too streaky, a little too much swing and miss, not enough walk. Love the power. Love it. It's awesome. It is seriously jaw-dropping how hard that man can hit a baseball and how fast he can swing a bat. But Jake Berger, to me, not quite a consistent enough player at this point. If you're really looking to have some World Series aspirations, I would go out and try and improve first base and second base. I think you're good with outfield. I think on the left side of the infield, Seager, Young, you'll probably work it out. Catcher would be another spot I might think about, but it's hard with catchers. What is going to be available? I don't know. You don't really want to do anything dumb there. Catcher might be something I would look at upgrading. And then obviously I think if they can get a high octane arm in the bullpen, that would work too. So for me, right side of the infield, probably bullpen. And then catcher, I think, would kind of be the distant one at the trade deadline. I think they got to figure out the catcher position this upcoming offseason. I don't think they can keep doing this veteran patchwork stuff. But I'd like to see at the deadline, right side of the infield, and then another high leverage bullpen arm. You can never have too many of those. The Rangers have done a great job patching it together. But we've all talked about this. The bullpen has been used a lot this year already. Last year, we saw what happened. The bullpen got used a ton at the beginning of the year. And then by August, you started seeing the wheels come off a little bit. That's why you need another injection of a very high quality bullpen arm at the deadline. You get somebody who maybe hasn't had quite the same amount of use. You just get that one more depth piece. It's good. I really want to see the Rangers take care of those needs at the deadline if, in fact, they are buyers. We'll see what happens. We will see. I think it's a long way. Rangers got to keep their head above water. I'd love for them to be buyers. Adley Rutschman, Uncle Ted, is a guy that I wanted the Rangers to get in the offseason. I would have loved to have had him. That Baseball Savant page is glowing red, fire red. Would have loved to have Adley as our starting catcher this year. Who knows what the price point was? Many people try and tell me that he was never available, so why am I crying about it? I've said this over and over. You'll hear me say it as the trade deadline approaches. Everybody's available. The only player that's probably not available is like Shohei Ohtani. Everybody else, I guarantee, the GM is picking up the phone. And I bet even the Dodgers GM, if you wanted to make some crazy trade for Ohtani, I bet even the Dodgers GM would maybe even listen to it just for fun. Just for fun. Maybe no intention of taking it. Most GMs are going to hear the offer. Just give me the offer. I don't think there's a lot of, nope, we're not trading him no matter what. I think most GMs will hear the offer. So I think anybody could potentially be available at the deadline for the right price. Keep rolling. Vargas from the White Sox, interesting one. I got to see how things play out a little bit more. I really do. But it's going to be fun watching things heat up in June and then in July. Is Josh Smith's health concerns deeper than baseball? Yeah, I mean, look, he's going through a little bit of a tough time here with the meningitis, the wrist thing, the glute thing. And then, of course, he wasn't playing very well. Just a tough time for Josh. Prayers for him, man. Hope he does better. Hope he gets better soon. I'm not sure what his place is going to be when he gets back healthy. I think Josh might end up down in Round Rock. I think he's got 3 options. I mean, this is a guy that can honestly head down to AAA and spend some time down there. I wonder if Josh is going to come back and just immediately get his 26-man spot back. I could see them potentially keeping Josh down at AAA for a while. Meningitis is crazy. It absolutely is crazy. I'm glad he's back at home. His wife posted a picture of him chilling on the couch back at the house. He was in the hospital. So for me, I don't know what his fate is going to be baseball-wise. Obviously, though, the number one priority is just him getting back to 100%. So we'll continue to keep him in our prayers. In our house, for sure, man. Look, it goes beyond the game sometimes. Obviously, we are hard on some of these players. We've been hard on Smitty at different points, but you got to put things aside, man, when something scary like that's going down. Let's keep going, man. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. We've been going over an hour already. Tomorrow's an early day. We got Jack Leiter on the bump. Lights has been, pun intended here, pretty lights out of late, especially against Houston, man. He just got a terrible short end of the stick against the Stros. Went 7 innings, 1 earned run. Just phenomenal from Leiter. And hopefully at Coors, a place where you can get burned pretty easily if you're giving up free traffic, you're making mistakes. Hopefully, like Kumar Rocker, Jack Leiter can tame Coors Field as well. But tomorrow, it is a 2:10 start time. If you're in Texas, that'll be, look, a 12:10 for me. This is perfect. All right, perfect. Little day game. I always love a little day game during the workday. I'll probably be live during the 8th or 9th inning. I know some of you guys might still be at work, maybe getting off work, but tomorrow, actually, because it's a little bit of a later start, I'll probably be able to be live 8th or 9th inning, FYI, tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that. Leiter, over the course of his career, has faced some of these Rockies players. Looks like he's got maybe 7 players having faced in the past. Castro, 1-for-1. Doyle, 0-for-3. Freeman. By the way, I'm sure Cody is bumming because this was his opportunity to play his brother, Tyler, who plays for the Rockies for the first time officially in their career. They've done some spring training stuff, but if Cody was healthy, this would have been the matchup, the first time they had ever played each other. I'm sure Cody is just bumming, man, that he can't be here. playing his brother in this series. I know he's working out hard, trying to get back healthy, but I was thinking about him today as Tyler was running around, catching some fly balls out there in the outfield, getting a couple ABs. One day, man, it'll happen one day eventually, but we'll have a couple other guys, it looks like, with ABs. Tyler, by the way, has walked against Leiter, but no official ABs. Goodman, 1 for 3. Johnston, 2 for 3 with the bomb. McCarthy, 0 for 2. Moniak, 0 for 4. So you've actually got some pretty good numbers here, Leiter against the Rockies. Kyle Freeland on the other side, 7.22 ERA. Longtime Rocky, Kyle Freeland. Berger, 2 for 6. Ezequiel Duran, 1 for 4 against Freeland. Swaggerty, 1 for 3. Higgy, 0 for 2. Jansen, 0 for 2. Josh Young, 3 for 6 with a bomb against Rocky's probable starter for the finale tomorrow, Kyle Freeland. Andrew McCutchen, he is 294 with 2 bombs, 34 career ABs, 885 OPS. McCutchen will be in the lineup tomorrow, that's for sure. Probably leading off again, maybe. Brandon Nimmo, 357 batting average with a 1,000 even OPS and a home run against Kyle Freeland. Little lefty on lefty damage there. Jock Peterson, 3 for 4 against Freeland. Rangers have hit Freeland pretty well. I feel pretty good about this matchup. Rangers, I think the important thing, score first, score 4. Score first, score 4. Let's go, baby. Rangers hopefully going to get a series win tomorrow, and then they will be off on Thursday before they head out. Are they going, where are they going? Oakland? What do they got coming up this weekend? Why am I blanking on this? End of a long day, but Rangers will have a much-needed day off, a chance to kind of get everything reset, right? Oh, and Angels, my bad. They go to the Angels this weekend for a 3-game set. So we got some West Coast ball coming up for you guys. We'll have some late-night baseball Friday and Saturday. That's the plan. We're sticking to it. Jock at first tomorrow. Calling it Burger day off. Interesting. Might happen. Jock 3 for 4. That might do it. Holly, appreciate the help. Like I said, I think it's been a 14 or 15-hour day for me. Work plus more work, but this is, it's work, but it's fun. You guys know that. Birthday today, man, Wyatt. Happy birthday, man. Happy birthday. It was a birthday miracle that they won today. You were at the game? That's awesome. Happy birthday again, brother. Enjoy the rest of the day. Hey, you guys enjoy the rest of the night. I'll have a video out tomorrow morning for you guys. We'll have to get it out quick with the early start time, but we'll get it done. Something good for you. I got a couple ideas planned for the TikTok, for the reel, so you guys, I think, will like it. Definitely thank you for liking, commenting, sharing it whenever you see those come across your page. Much appreciated, man. Even if it's just a real quick comment, means a lot. Everything. You guys keep this show fresh with everything you guys bring to the table. So I want to say a special thank you to all y'all. This was fun, man. Anytime the Rangers score double digits, get a shutout, it's hard to complain too much. It's a good night to be a Rangers fan. And by the way, around the league, we have a couple of scores final. The Angels and A's are still playing. Looks like the A's are going to win that ball game and get back to 500. Angels are going to drop to 17-32. Astros did win today. They beat the Twins 2-1. And then the Mariners, what are they doing? They are currently beating the White Sox 1-0. So unfortunately, not really a day where the Rangers are going to gain a lot of ground in the West. But a win is a win. We'll take it. They get 16 hits, score 10 runs, hold the Rockies to 3 hits. Great day to be a Texas fan, baby. And we'll be back in about 12 hours, a little over 12 hours to do it all again with you. Hope you come by tomorrow during the 8th or 9th inning. Appreciate you guys. And as I always say to end every show, God bless and go Rangers.